All right, we are live. You guys, I know it's just preseason. I don't care. Basketball is back in our lives. The off season is over. Media day has come and gone. Training camp is finished. Tonight is the Phoenix Suns' first preseason game, and I am super excited. You're a true basketball sicko when you get excited about preseason basketball, you guys. I am hyped. Phoenix Suns at Los Angeles Lakers in Palm Desert, California, I believe. And I am super excited about this game, you guys. Just wanted to give you guys a quick little pregame live show just to kind of keep you guys updated. We're going to be hearing from like Mike Budenholzer and reading you guys some stuff and just kind of giving you guys what I think, what I'm going to be what I'm going to be looking for personally throughout this game. I am super hyped, you guys. We are here. Phoenix Suns preseason basketball is back. I am so ready, you guys. Like, for me, you know what? I was going to talk about this later, but we're just going to talk about it right now. One thing I'm going to be looking for right out the gate, and I think this gets overlooked. It doesn't matter what your favorite team is. The one thing that I like to look for throughout the preseason, especially in the very first preseason game, doesn't matter what your favorite team is just how your team looks. Because for the most part, unless you're like the Los Angeles Lakers, for example, who made like two moves where they just drafted like two rookies, I believe, or one rookie, Dalton Connect. Your team, for the most part, is pretty much new. So, like, there's a lot of fans that don't care for the preseason, but I'm like, why? I'm like, you guys, like, this is, in a way, like, we have a lot of new additions, a new coaching staff. We're going to have a new offense, a new defense. There's going to be so much to look forward to with this preseason game that tips off in about 2 hours. Why shouldn't fans be excited? I don't care if it's preseason. And I know Booker and KD and all of them probably aren't going to play that much, but that's okay. Because, again, we're going to jump into it later. We will have a chance to look at the new guys. But I just need to calm down. I need to take a deep breath. We will get to that. I just had to start that off. Like, I don't understand why a lot of people don't like preseason. It's like, it's a new team, new season. You know, as of a couple of days ago, all the teams were 0-0. Technically, they are 0-0 going into the new season. And I know, like, the stats don't really matter and the records don't matter, but I don't care, you guys. I love preseason basketball. We have NBA basketball and we have Phoenix Suns basketball back in our lives. So do me a huge favor, you guys. Crush that like button. Share the show. Let's dive into it. Thank you for everybody that is in here. And you guys already know the drill. If you guys got like a question, a comment, a concern, get it in the chat. Get it in the chat. I will do my best to answer it. And if I don't answer it, maybe I'll answer it tonight when we go live after the game. Yes, I will be going live after the game. Speaking of which, it is 6:30 p.m. Arizona time, Palm Desert. You can watch it on Suns Live, AZ Family TV, 3TV, Arizona Family Sports. Listen to it on the radio on 98.7 FM. And in case you missed it, the Los Angeles Lakers expect both LeBron James and Anthony Davis to play. They did not make their preseason opener against the Timberwolves, which I think they got crushed in that game. But again, they didn't really play. And speaking of stuff like that, we had some unfortunate news. And I'll pull up everything here in a minute. But Yusuf Nurkic, who we have spent a long time throughout the offseason talking about, Yusuf Nurkic, unfortunately, has a finger injury. And he will be reevaluated in 1 week. And we're going to hear from Mike Budenholzer in a minute. And you know what? Obviously, it sucks. Like, I kind of want to see what Nurkic looks like and everything. But, you know, we had a preview of that last season. I guess what I'm trying to say is I wish we could have seen this version of Nurk in this offensive system tonight, just to kind of give us a preview. But I think I'm okay with that because Nurkic is going to put on a lot of miles onto his body this season. He's going to be sort of our enforcer. And what we hope, sort of like last season, he's going to be healthy throughout most of the season. So I think I'm okay if he misses this preseason. He's going to miss a few preseason games, right? Because I think we have 5 preseason games, like an 8-day span. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that. But that's okay. And you know what? It's just a finger injury. Now, granted, I've never had a finger injury. I'm not a doctor, but I assume Nurkic can maybe work on some other things while he's recovering that finger. You know what I mean? But it does kind of suck. So it looks like LeBron James and Anthony Davis will be playing tonight. It looks like Yusuf Nurkic will be out. He'll be reevaluated for a week. And so far, fingers crossed, that's all the injury report as of right now. I am recording this at 6:20 p.m. Central Daylight Time, but we will see. That is what it is looking like for the Suns-Lakers injury report. Now, like I said, we're going to hear from Suns head coach Mike Budenholzer. I believe this was yesterday at practice. Now, he did injure it's his left middle finger. Now, he did injure it during a scrimmage, but we're going to hear exactly what Mike Budenholzer said here. Give me 1 second, you guys. Let me just get this all fired up here. How's everybody's Sunday? How's everybody's Sunday going? I hope it's going well for you guys. Let me know if you guys can hear this and everything. So we're going to hear from head coach Mike Budenholzer once I know what's going on with my life. Okay, sorry, guys. My bad. Okay, here we go. Suns head coach Mike Budenholzer. This comes from Dana Scott from the Arizona Republic. It says, Yusuf Nurkic left middle finger was injured from scrimmaging. Him missing Suns preseason game versus the Lakers will give rookie Oso Garo, we're going to talk about him in a little bit, more chances to play. And, quote, vertical spacing is important, balancing the Suns' lob threats and bigs and many threes in his offense. So let's hear from Mike Budenholzer.
Yeah, I mean, in training camp, everybody gets to play and you mix up the groups and everything, but certainly probably more opportunities for Oso, which I think he's taking advantage of. He's getting comfortable, understanding what we want to do. So, both of them, it's good for them to get the reps with, especially, all the guys that are returning that they haven't played with.
How did Nurk actually injure his middle finger?
Just scrimmaging, playing.
Will everyone else be available tomorrow outside of Nurk?
We expect to. We'll see how everybody came out of practice, but we expect everybody else to be available.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about shooting threes. That you can come in here and talk about taking threes. People think it's so simple, take more threes. But what goes into that for you as a coach and finding the stylistic balance with what you want to implement?
Yeah, I mean, it just starts with talking about it first, probably. Watching some film, making it a priority in your individual workouts, making it a priority in shooting drills, and making it a priority in scrimmages. So. I think the guys have been great. They're very capable. So we got to be good at everything, including shooting threes.
You mentioned the moments with Brad and you showed him some moments of hesitation. Was that the main thing you noticed watching back last year that was keeping the numbers low, or were there other things you noticed too?
No, I mean, it's I think we're looking forward. I think this group's finding a way and an identity to play, and everybody needs to be, ready when they're open. And sometimes you can actually overpass in our league, and when you have good opportunities, you got to take advantage of them.
How helpful is it to have lob threats like Oso or Mace or even Bull to have out there with spacing that you have when trying to get threes off and having them attacking the rim?
Yeah, no, having some vertical spacing is important. Some bigs that can get on the rim, and really I think our smalls have gotten good. A little bit different, but in the roles and. Being able to collapse the defense and hopefully play a numbers game. But I think we've got a good mix of bigs with Nurk can roll, but Nurk can pick and pop, and Mason and Oso, a little bit of verticality, spacing, and also multiple actions with those two.
Okay, real quick, you guys. Again, shout out to Dana Scott from the Arizona Republic for this clip. I want to kind of replay this part right here where Kellen Olson from Arizona Sports was talking to him. He said something that I liked, and I just want to kind of I want to make sure I heard this correctly. Let's listen in again.
You mentioned the moments with Brad, and you showed him some moments of hesitation. Was that the main thing you noticed watching back last year that was keeping the numbers low, or were there other things you noticed too?
No, I mean, it's, I think we're looking forward. I think this group's finding a way and an identity to play, and everybody needs to be, ready when they're open. And
that was sort of the clip right there I wanted to rehear. Everybody's got to be ready when they're open. And I think he's talking about the 3-point shooting, and he's sort of referencing Bradley Beal. I'll try to recap that in a minute because there was a lot of talk about that on media day. But then right after this, he says, I think he says something like, you can overpass in this league. What did the Phoenix Suns do a lot last season? They overpassed. So let's listen to Mike Budenholzer.
Sometimes you can actually overpass in our league. And when you have good opportunities, you got to take advantage of them.
I'm sorry. I just had to go back and listen to that again. So what we heard a lot from media day. Oh, wow. The Cardinals just won. Holy crap. That's awesome. I just got an update on my phone. That's awesome. They were losing, I believe, at the end of the third quarter or near the end of the third. That's awesome. Shout out to all you hardcore Arizona Cardinals fans. Congrats on the win, Cardinals. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Bradley Beal. So Bradley Beal, if you missed his media day stuff, talked a lot about how, last season was such a struggle outside of the injuries, playing outside of his role, yada, yada, yada. We all know that long, boring story, right? So this year, he had not only a healthy offseason, but he had a good mental offseason. And he's already been talking and communicating a lot with head coach Mike Budenholzer. And they've been talking about, the 3-point shooting and just playing more fun, playing more free, playing like how I'm going to reference it. Bradley Beal didn't exactly say this, but I'm saying it. Playing like Washington Wizards Bradley Beal. And Mike Budenholzer, I believe, sort of referenced that. Like, I want to see the Bradley Beal that played against us in Washington. He said something like that. Like, I'm paraphrasing there. But you guys get my point. Bradley Beal's healthy so far. He's mentally in a good place. He says he spent a lot of time with his family and everything. His kids helped him out a lot. And now he's got a new coach, a new coaching system, and a new offense to where Bradley Beal can play free. Bradley Beal also mentioned just to have more fun. Bradley Beal having fun on a team like this is a scary thought. So that's why I'm glad Mike Budenholzer was talking about the 3-point shooting and saying, like, guys got to be ready. Got to be ready to catch the ball and launch it. And you can overpass in this league. I love that. I'm glad that we heard that. But outside of that, I'm kind of going on a long-winded rant there. Outside of that, it definitely seems like Oso Garo is going to get some minutes. We're going to talk about that later. And hopefully we see a lot of 3-point shots. But I just had to kind of recap that real quick. And let me just make sure. I just want to hold on. Give me a second here, you guys. No, we don't have to hear from JJ Redick. This isn't a Lakers channel. I had that clip backed up just in case. But anyways, okay, let's keep going here. My bad, you guys. I got a little off track there. So another thing, too, with this Nurkic injury update that I think is worth mentioning. I read this earlier. I believe it was on, I forgot where I read this from, but it said Budenholzer told reporters Saturday that Nurkic suffered the injury while scrimmaging. Nurk dealt with a wear and tear last year, leading to several injuries, including his sprained left thumb in January. So seems like he's got a couple hand injuries here and there. I hope everything's okay. I hope the reevaluation goes smoothly in about a week or so, and hopefully we can see him. But that moves on. The Suns' center rotation will now be Mason Plumlee, Oso Garo, and Frank Kaminsky to fill in. And maybe we'll see some Bol action. I see some people in the chat saying they want Bol to start. Trust me, I see you. I'm with you. We've even talked about that on a previous live show. I would be welcome to it. I think Mike Budenholzer would be open to it as well. We might see some Bol starting action in the future. I don't think it's going to happen now. But if there's ever a time to experiment, it is in the preseason. You know what I mean? So let's keep moving on here, you guys. Speaking, you know what? Before we get to the quotes and everything, let's kind of go back to where I started with the very beginning of this show. And this is just, and I'm going to type in this banner real quick. My apologies. Things I'll be looking for. Sorry, I guess it'd be watching for. Things I'll be watching. That's the simple. Sorry, guys. I'm doing this on the fly. Very professional of me, aren't I? Okay, cool. Things I'll be watching. I sort of referenced this at the start of the show. And let's start with this. I want to watch very closely, first off, how many threes we're going to attempt and make. Obviously, a lot of fans are going to be writing that down and keeping track of it. But I want to specifically watch when those first couple of threes get up. And probably mainly outside of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. We know they're going to launch them. But I want to see when Bradley Beal takes a three in the exact moment he does it. Or I don't know, Royce O'Neal or Grayson Allen. I want to watch how many threes go up when they go up and see if the attempts and makes is different from the Suns' first preseason game about a year ago. You know what I mean? I want to see how the three ball is going to fly and just how many of them are going to get up. Because that's been a conversation we've had a lot this offseason. And another conversation we've had, and that they had at Media Day and stuff, is the Suns playing with pace. Are we going to kind of see, I'm not comparing this to the run and gun Phoenix Suns, the Steve Nash days, but are we going to kind of run and gun? You know what I mean? Is this going to be a faster paced team? Also, I know this is random, but fun fact, I think the Washington Wizards of all teams led the league in pace last year, which is crazy, which makes sense, though, because they're super young and they're rebuilding. I think that's correct. But I just want to see how fast are we going to play, because that's been a little bit of talk during training camp. So we will see. By the way, guys, I do have some comments and questions that I've highlighted that I will get to as soon as possible. And I saw some other, Suns websites and stuff talking about this. The bench unit. Is it safe to say that Grayson Allen will be the first man up off the bench? Because after that, it's probably going to be, not probably, it is going to be a mixture of I don't know, Royce O'Neal, Mason Plumlee, who am I forgetting here? Bol, Monte Morris, Oso Garo, because Mike Budenholzer talked about it. And we're going to read some quotes here in a minute. Speaking of Mason Plumlee and Oso Garo, that'll be a good way to kind of close out the show before we get to the questions and everything. I think we're going to see some Oso Garo tonight, and I'm excited about that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. You know me, if you've been following this channel, I'm not the biggest draft expert. I never will be. And headed into the draft, I knew very little to nothing about Oso Garo, but now I feel like I know a lot. This is a very young, mature kid, especially for his age, a very versatile, forward, power forward, whatever you want to label him as. And when I say versatile, he is very versatile. A lot of size, a lot of strength, and I am excited to see him play. And again, you're going to hear me. I'm going to sound like such a broken record. You're going to get sick of me saying this. You're going to be like, Suns Geek, stop saying that. I'm going to keep saying, if there's ever a time to experiment, it is in the preseason. Let's see some Oso Garo tonight. Let's see some Ryan Dunn. Let's see some of the two-way guys. Let's see Jalen Bridges, not Mikal Bridges. Let's see Jalen Bridges. I am so psyched. That's why I am hyped for this preseason game. We are going to see so much. We're going to have so much to talk about tonight, tomorrow. And then I think October 8th is our next preseason game? I don't know. You get the point, though. So much to talk about. It's going to be insane. Cannot wait. And then, I want to see all the new guys. There's only so many minutes to go around. It's only a 48-minute game, but I think that's going to kind of be our lineup. Now, does Booker, KD, Beal, do they play 20, 25 minutes? Is that too much? Is that perfect? I don't know. Does Mason Plumlee get the starting job tonight? I don't know. Probably. Who knows? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I don't know. Okay. So before we get to the questions, I want to talk about some quotes that I read from Arizona Sports, or not, excuse me, not Arizona Sports. I apologize. From the Arizona Republic. And this is Mason Plumlee talking a lot about Oso Garo and really just talking about the team in general. I have another. I'll save that for later. We'll do that in the post-game show. But just want to read you guys a few quotes from Mason Plumlee and evaluating the first few days of Suns training camp. Now, I went live for the Suns' first 2 days of training camp, kind of recapped it. Go check those out on my channel if you want to. But Mason Plumlee said, and I quote, "Good energy. We got a really good group so far and a couple of good days." And then he also mentioned, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, that, and I think this was before, I mean, maybe he knew about Nurkic, maybe like Mason Plumlee knew about the Nurkic injury, but I think this was before Nurkic's injury was announced. But, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said that he's going to be playing with different lineups throughout the season. So Mason Plumlee will be playing with, he will be playing with like KD and Booker and Beal and all that. He knows that, but he's just staying focused on how the Suns want to play. So he knows that the different lineups are going to happen, and he just wants to focus on how the Suns are going to play and how he can help best with that. And then he was talking about Oso Garo, and I should have screen capped this. I apologize, but not just Oso, but he was talking about Suns rookie Ryan Dunn. Quote, "They've been great. It's not easy to come in on a team this talented where things are pretty preset. But they've had moments, they've had practices, and times in the preseason," he's talking about training camp, "where they've shown they're NBA players. Sometimes when guys come in, you don't know they can really play, but those guys have shown some stuff." My biggest takeaway from that is that Mason Plumlee says that Ryan Dunn and Oso Garo have been great. And he says there's been times in practices and during training camp where they have, quote, shown they're NBA players. I love that. That's huge. So it seems like Mason Plumlee is being a good leader off of the court. Seems like he is just doing, he's just there for the rookies, and he's seen a lot from the rookies. And I don't know if I have the quote here, but I think I saw something earlier where Oso Garo, I think it was, we could react to media clips and all that all day, but I think there was a clip where Oso Garo was like, yeah, like Nurk's, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said like Nurk took me under his wing. And it seems like every time like they're watching film, it's like Nurkic, somebody else, and Tyus Jones are like, "Hey, Oso, come join us over here." So it kind of seems like Nurk and all them are taking Oso under their wing, and that's huge. So it seems like Plumlee's being a good veteran to Oso. Nurkic is. And that's good leadership, because we talked about that a lot during the offseason, that the Suns need good leadership. And speaking of that, I was listening to a Devin Booker clip earlier where he was talking with Luke and Wolf from Arizona Sports. And he said, like, I don't know if he said I need to be a better leader, but he said I need to be a better vocal leader. Key word in that, vocal leader. So I hope that Devin Booker is a better vocal leader this year. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's just, last thing on Oso Garo, quick quote, "I'm learning a lot, competing, felt that we had good energy as a team, working hard to get a lot better. So it's been good." He was just talking about that with training camp. So, okay, you guys, you know what? Let's just quickly react to that Oso Garo clip where I was talking about how like Oso or Nurkic has kind of taken him under his wing. Then I'll get to some questions and comments. Then we'll wrap this up. I don't want to spend too much time on this live show because, everybody just wants to watch the preseason game. We can talk more Suns after that. So again, big shout out to Dana Scott from the Arizona Republic. Here's Oso Ighodaro. And let me just fix this. And here we go.
And getting acclimated to the team.
Yeah, Nick's been great. He's always telling me to hop in with him after practice and drills. And him and Tyus were going through some ball screen angles and stuff. He's like, Rook, come hop in with me. So just
That's
little
huge.
stuff like that means a lot to me, just making me feel included. And as a young guy, a vet going out their way to do that means a lot. So I've been trying to learn as much as I can from him.
This offense obviously is going to be a lot more threes. So is that making you affect your shot a little bit from that deep, or are you still staying within your range?
I mean, at Marquette, all we shot was threes. And me being able to create threes is the same as getting threes. So I know my role, and I think that me being able to create shots for others is something that they want from me. So I'm obviously continuing to work on my shot and continuing to grow on that. But I know my strengths right now and how I can impact winning. So that's what I'm trying to use right now.
Okay. Good stuff from Oso Ighodaro. Like I said, you guys, very versatile. Can't wait to see what Oso brings to this team. And maybe he launches some threes. I don't know. Hopefully everybody on the team can launch some threes. You know what I mean? Okay, guys, let's get to a couple of comments and questions, and then we'll wrap things up. Big shout out to my guy, Justin. Appreciate you being here, man. One of the biggest loyalist Suns fans I know. Appreciate you being here, man. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, let's get to a couple questions and comments here. KO says, who is looking to stand out, Suns Geek? So if I'm understanding your comment and question correctly here, it's a hard one to answer. And you would hope it's a lot of the new guys, because Tyus Jones is starting. So sure, we want him to stand out, but we already anticipate what he can do. So I'm not really expecting too much from, I am expecting a lot from Tyus, but I'm like, he doesn't necessarily need to stand out yet in my eyes. I think it has to be with a lot of the new guys and maybe some of the old guys too. Maybe we need to see another great year from Grayson Allen. Let's see what Bol has done this offseason. We've already talked a lot about Oso Ighodaro and Ryan Dunn, the rookies. Maybe Monte Morris needs to stand out. I don't know. That's a great question, but it's the Suns' first preseason game. I want all of these guys to stand out during the preseason. D Nice says, am I the only one excited to see our young guys tonight? No, man, I'm right there with you. I hope that they all play and that they all do very well. Hey, Suns Geek, this is Jobin. I changed my name. I'm so happy Suns basketball is back. I appreciate you being here, man. And I am that dude says, I predict our threes are going to be great this year. Me too, man. I hope that we launch them, and I hope that they are efficient, because I feel like I think we had a good percentage from three last year, but it was the attempts, I believe, that were the problem. You know what I mean? They just weren't going up. And, okay, let's see. We could see Jordan Goodwin play against us as well. Was pretty solid in Memphis. Yeah, I completely forgot he was with the Lakers until I saw his Instagram post or like his story recently. Yeah, so Jordan Goodwin probably has a big chance to play tonight. Slayer's Icon says, Suns Geek, what did you rank our bench, like ranking-wise, 1 to 30? Ooh, great question. Top 15 in the league right now, but that's just because it's the Suns' first preseason game. Let's maybe revisit this question down the road. Speaking of that, and you can say this a lot about NBA teams and regular seasons and playoff success, but with this type of a Phoenix Suns team, who in my personal opinion is a contender, you're going to need your bench to be top 10 in the league, if not better. So for right now, I'm going to kind of put us at the middle because we just don't know. We don't know what this team looks like, which is why fans should be excited about tonight's game, to give us at least a preview of what this team is going to look like, to see what the bench can do. But again, we're going to have to wait until the regular season starts and teams are playing, 100% and they're playing their best. And, so I'm going to put us at top 15, but we just need to see what this team's going to look like. Let's see. Virginia resident from Phoenix, just excited to see Ryan play. I appreciate you being here. Very excited for Grayson Allen. Ryan Dunn is going to prove something tonight. Nicholas says, is it on TV or radio only? Great question, Nicholas. So at the very start of the show, I did read it off. I read this on Bright Side of the Sun. 6:30 p.m. Arizona time, Palm Desert. So it's on Suns Live, AZ Family 3 TV, and it's on Arizona Family Sports. And then the radio is 98.7 FM. So, yeah, we will see. There are some preseason games that are going to be like on ESPN. And you know what? Since I don't know if I can pull it up, but before we get out of here, I'll just, where did it go? Okay, you know what? Hold on. Give me a second here, you guys. I have it saved in my bookmarks. Let me just pull this up. We'll kind of go quickly just over the Suns preseason schedule, and then we'll get out of here. So if you got any last minute questions, if not, save your questions for later, because I will be live later. We're going to have so much to talk about later. I'm super excited. Cannot wait. But yeah, here's the Suns preseason schedule from the Suns website. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. October 6th, 6:30 p.m. versus the Lakers. Home game for the Lakers. Then, yeah, like I said, October 8th, preseason, Tuesday, October 8th, 4 p.m. versus the Pistons. Then we have another game against the Pistons like three days later at home. That's our Suns' first preseason home game, October 11th. Now, I think that second one or that first one against the Pistons is somewhere in Michigan and all that. That's our 5th preseason game because I think originally we only had 4. Then play the Nuggets on the 13th, 17th against the Lakers, and then bam, right there, October 23rd, you guys. Suns at Clippers, Suns' first regular season game. Then they play the Lakers a couple days later. Our Suns' first home games against the Dallas Mavericks, back-to-back, by the way. 25th against the Lakers, and then 26th versus the Mavericks. So, all right, guys, last couple comments, and we'll get out of here. Also, Geek, do you think this is the year of our chip and a Devin Booker MVP season? You know what? Like I said, or like somebody said in one of my live shows recently, the Suns are going to go 98-0. We're going to win our first championship. Devin Booker's going to win MVP. Kevin Durant's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Grayson Allen's going to win Sixth Man of the Year. Suns for life, baby. Mic drop. All right, you guys. Like I said, you got a question for later, save it. Come to my show after the game. I know there's going to be a lot of other Suns podcasts and stuff that will be live. Come check me out. I will be live. Cannot wait. And the Suns preseason is here. Like, guys, it is here. I am hyped. Let's go. So you guys already know the drill, though. Until then, stay safe out there. Be kind to people. Love people. Take care of yourself. And just be nice to people, y'all. Too much negativity in the world. Spread positivity in this world. I'm super excited, you guys. I love you guys. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Peace out. Win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life. And I'll see you guys like in a few hours. Go Suns.
What's up, Suns Geek? Yes, sir.